Hello, everybody. I am back for another Sunday shout out, and I have the most extraordinary, awesome man with me, photographer and musician, Rob Blackham. Woo woo.
Hello, how are you, Helena?
Hello. All is good, thank you. How was your Christmas and New Year?
Interesting. It was very different to Christmases past. Lots of telly, lots of streaming, lots of Netflix, Queen's Gambit,
Oh, nice.
all that sort of malarkey. But yeah, it was all right. It was okay. Yeah, I'm in Guildford in G Town. It's where the magic happens most of the time.
Yeah, I'm missing a bit of G Town. I haven't heard it being said like that before.
G to the T to the O to the W to N, whatever.
And G Town is where we had our photo shoot.
That's correct.
Woo
Yeah.
woo. When I was getting ready to think about having photos for my album and for the singles as well, you were the man straight away popping up in my head. I knew that I wanted to have photos done with you because you did the photos for us with Redenbacher's Funkestra for the
Yeah.
Part of Me album.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani vibes,
Yes.
definitely. It was a fun shoot with Stefan. Yeah, I think we really nailed it that time, but this time I think you did even better.
Thank you. The sound of the record for Part of Me is jazz funk pop.
The music always informs the images. That really suited that look. Really punchy, really bright, vibrant, poppy. When we were at Stefan's doing those shots, we had Jamiroquai playing quite loudly in the background. And
Shocked.
I think you changed about 400 times as well during that shoot. So
Yeah.
there was loads of images.
We did rinse out the covers for that 6 singles we
Yeah.
released out of that album.
I loved how the music this time is more electronica. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit punchier. Jazz funk is amazing with the cover, the reimagining side of things. That serviced a part of the market. It's almost like out of that came you. You've taken all the best bits of everything you've learned and combined them into this streamlined Helena
That's
vibe.
amazing.
But to do that, we needed to make the images to reflect that. So that really strong red, almost blood red, I think reflects the music, especially with a tattoo, which I seen on one of the artworks there. It's a landscape that looks
Yeah, we did
really strong.
the hand one, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And who'd have thought it's so difficult to take a picture of a bloody hand?
It
But
was. We had like quite a lot of options. Like there was me like clasped hands and then
yeah, yeah.
like straight out hands and like relaxed as well and trying to find the right angle because she moves as my arm moves, and that was the whole concept as well of me like I wanted her front on when I was holding the microphone, but yeah, she does move with the hands, so it was a little bit of a challenge.
Well, I think it all came together, and Neil's done a great job with the typography and bringing it all together. Squad goals, hashtag dream team.
Totally a dream team. The Diamond 101 single image has both of you combined in it. The music is around it, obviously, too, because that's going to be coming out.
Are you admitting that the music is secondary to the
The music came first, definitely. But
did it though?
But the photography and the graphics,
yeah.
they are so important, especially for catching people's eye and for people to actually go, oh, actually, I'd quite like to listen to that track. It has to be eye-catching enough for people to press play.
That's the problem. They'll scroll down the newsfeed. Everyone is scrolling now. It's all noise. If everything looks the same as everything else, in the old days when I was a kid, I used to go to the bookshop. You'll buy the book that's got the best cover. You might discover like it's a rubbish book or you didn't enjoy it, but people do still judge a book by its cover. But I think you need to stand out. There's a lot of noise on these news feeds. It's not a lot of things that look the same. So it is super important to stand out. Once they discover you via the image or whatever, then they're in. And it's a good little way of getting people's attention, definitely.
And I really wanted the first single to be, and it very much is when you listen to it, when it comes out, people, it is a power track. In your face, let's go. This is the start, first release of the album. And then from then on, it's continuing it. And I really, really hope that people are going to want to join on the journey and keep seeing the new artwork that's being revealed as well, because there is other artwork. Our photo shoot came out so successfully. I loved it. It's a year ago this month, and I can't believe that it's gone so quickly.
Well, 2020 was a bit of a bust, wasn't it, really? I mean, everyone's plans changed. I mean, I'm dealing with a lot of artists every week, and it's interesting seeing how different people have dealt with it. mentally, physically. It was difficult. Look at the positives. I mean, I lost so much business because I mean, most of my photography comes through an American band or a European band. Their PR will get me to come and do backstage portraits for magazines. So no touring means hardly any commissions from that side of the industry. So I've been playing guitar. I've done some remixes for a couple of indie bands, and Apple were doing a 3-month free trial of Logic. So I thought, hey, you know what? I don't know how to use Logic. Learning this software and playing loads of guitar. Stefan actually sent me a bunch of guitar-free versions of Funkestra stuff that I was playing along to. Have you ever sung any Nirvana covers?
I haven't actually, no.
I'd like to hear you sing Nirvana. I think that would be really cool. For the next
Right.
covers album, 5 years from now. I remember hearing an argument between two musicians, and they were arguing about what the chord is at the beginning of "Hard Day's Night" by the Beatles, and that is an epic chord. And there's a YouTube video I saw, and there's this musicologist who's deconstructed this chord from the master tapes, and everyone thinks it's chord A, but it turns out it's chord B with a bit of chord C, and it's pretty epic. I think it's one of the only hit songs that you can hear one chord and know exactly what it is. You got this cha-ching, and you know it's "Hard Day's Night" by the Beatles. And I think that's genius. How many other songs can you hear just one note, essentially?
It was a music quiz. The very first few bars from a song, and Seal, "Kiss from a Rose" came up. Da da da, like straight away as soon as you.
So that's three notes. So basically, once you get to, you probably get the music.
3, 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4.
There can't be that many waltz hits.
But I actually have a 3/4 song in my album. Yeah.
Does it start? Da-da-da-da-da?
Exactly. Seal, "Kiss from a Rose." Okay,
Yeah,
Helena
that's a
May.
great track.
In January 2020, this time last year, in your
Yeah.
living room.
That's correct. For your stuff, it was very much a kind of guerrilla project. So this idea of these kind of neon colors, these kind of punchy colors, and I pop up a white background. And then I've got some different colored gels. And so even though in the room it looks like Helena against a white background, when you take the picture, because I'm triggering these different colored lights from my camera, that backdrop can turn into any color or combination of colors that you like. So it's amazing how it turned out, actually. So we settled on this kind of amazing blood red, primal, womanly red. And your hair, it just super pops. And then you had, I remember, some crazy bling on you as well.
Yeah, like I was using the Shrine crystals, like this amazing makeup brand that you can actually have pieces that you can stick on.
I went out and got some jewels that I could stick on my face. I was inspired by you. I got some funny looks. I can say that. I think the moral of the story is it's amazing what you can achieve in a small space with a bit of planning. You can get these Hollywood images just in a small space.
I actually did my own makeup that day. I'm really happy with how the makeup came out, but now like having Brooke on board, that really opened my eyes to kind of go, yeah, actually to have someone who's really specialized in it that does a fantastic job. And she did my makeup for the video shoot for Diamond 101. And I'm just absolutely in love with her work.
Definitely never underestimate the importance of a good makeup artist and, to a certain extent, stylist, because you as the artist, it takes the pressure off. Essentially, it should just be a really easy experience. Turn up to the shoot, somebody does your makeup, you don't have to worry that it's great. You have a few conversations with your stylist and you agree a couple of different outfits. And that, again, it gives you the confidence just to sit for the portraits and start the dialogue with the camera. I think what you've done is that you've proved that actually the creative process is ideas driven. And it is possible to do things within the confines of a lower budget. I'm not talking about, I mean, obviously this is not a low budget project you've done. It certainly doesn't sound that way. It doesn't look that way. What you've done is you've come out with major label quality and feel with an indie label budget. And it just shows that if you get your ideas, your preparation, and you get your team together, then you can tie all that stuff together and you can knock it out of the park. You know, one of my favorite albums of all time is Donald Fagan's Nightfly. And the album cover to that is just him as that character, late night DJ. And it's just really simple. I doubt there's a stylist or a makeup. A good idea, just done simply, is sometimes better than a bunch of bad ideas with millions of pounds chucked at them. Yes. But I'm totally up for big budget shoots, obviously, anytime.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It'd be nice to get to that stage. Now is the time to be me and to venture into the world doing
Yeah.
my own stuff.
I look forward to hearing the whole thing and how it runs together from start to finish. I mean, I've seen a couple of the images. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes together as a campaign.
It's been a long, nice process.
Yeah, yeah, but it's never over. That's
Mm.
the great thing
Mm.
about it. I mean, you've got a body of work now. You've got this new album. As an artist, you've got one eye on the present and promotion of this product and the way you can deliver this to people who've never heard you, and to also to the people who have heard you. To some people, they know you from this bubbly 606 crowds. And now I think to some of those, this album is going to be a departure and a bit of a shock. But then that's the great thing about, you know, a career, I suppose. You've got one eye on that, and you've got one eye probably in the future in 2022.
Yeah.
You know, new tracks, new feels. You probably go. Probably get a phone call going, Rob, we're gonna have green. We're gonna go green. This punchy green thing, whatever, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I look forward to seeing how this moves. And has JK heard it?
No, I would definitely like him to.
Get your CD and like break into his garage and put CDs in all of his Ferraris and super glue up the little slots so that they're all stuck in all the stereos forever.
And he has to listen to it.
It's his only option. You've done the hard bit. It's just getting people to hear it now.
Yeah.
It exists. As a songwriter, as a singer, essentially you're creating a thing that didn't exist before. That's the bit that not everyone can do. So it's just taking that and delivering it to people. That is the next stage, and which you're doing.
Yeah, the product is there, ready to go, but it just needs all those extra little puzzle pieces, the video, really getting the artwork done, getting the social media.
But I think the door's open a little crack. You just got to stick your foot in it now. Are you doing any sort of special content for your super fans and stuff? That sort of vibe?
Yes, because I'm doing the Sunday shout outs on a weekly basis, highlighting the people behind the scenes within the album. But I really like to do a friends special. I really want to do some limited edition merchandise as well with it, and just really trying to build the community.
I was really happy with these portraits of one of your guys, Stu Brutal.
Yeah. This is his artwork.
These are some of the nicest, some of the best photographs I've done in a number of years. Low key, black background, simple light setup. He put these weird, crazy contact lenses on. He just smoked cigarettes and looked cool. And sometimes that's all you need. I think that is the power of images. It all boils down to striking a chord visually. I've got record companies in the States going, who is he? What label's he on? That sort of thing.
That's so cool.
And it's like, here's this guy, and he rhymes. He's a tattooist, obviously done your iconic arm piece.
My birdie, there she is.
Well, there you go. The next album, he's going to have to come up with another piece.
It's like a web of different people and how they're all interlinked together.
I like to think of it like a cult, but the good kind, So just join my cult and I'll join your cult and we'll all help each other out and it's all good.
Just thinking Stefan calls it a tribe.
I suppose it is a tribe. I like to think it as it's a cult. But
what are your ultimate favorite photographs, people that you photographed? Because you have photographed some crazy famous people.
About a year and a half, 2 years ago, I started working with a guy called James, who is an art director, amazing artist. He was launching a new magazine. I started doing little bits and bobs with him and we kind of work together on concepts sometimes. And bizarrely, I think I've been working with a band called Rival Sons in a live context and kind of got to know them a little bit over the last kind of 3-4 years. An amazing rock band from the US. I was invited to go and kind of hang out and do some backstage portraits of those guys. Felt incredibly honored and lucky to be with them. There's lots of nerves because that'll be the biggest show on the tour. Everyone wants to get on the guest list. There'll be 30-40 people trying to take photographs in the pit, and to be asked to document that backstage, what happens behind that velvet rope, from hanging out with Miley on the drums when he's doing his warm-ups backstage, to Jay the singer's doing his yoga, and while they're all doing their bits and bobs, I set up in the backstage bar, the VIP bar at the top at the back, I set up a little, like we did pretty much. It was a black background, and they came in one by one. We took some portraits, but you can see it in their eyes. To be honest, with shoots like that, it's probably 30% about technical photography and 70% just letting the subject be, and it's about them at that point. But yeah, that was cool. I think that photo of Jay, one one of those photos of Jay from backstage. Yeah, that'd be one, definitely.
Yeah. Every photo I've seen of yours, it really does tell a story. You capture the people's soul and you see something, you see a story in your images. That's what I love about your work.
Well, it's cool that you see that. That makes me very happy that you see that. I mean, a lot of the times, if I'm feeling happy and confident, I see that too. But it's about connection. And I think it's the same whether it's a photo of Stu Brutal or a photo of Slash or a photo of Jay from Rival Sons or your photo. If the viewer connects with the image, then my work is done. And that's the bottom line.
Smashing it, Rob. Making it happen.
Yeah, well,
I love it. Love it. I'm excited to be revealing the images that we have done. There's so much in there. There's so much to choose from. And when I was looking for the Diamond 101 image and I just saw the one that we've gone and chosen, it was perfect. It just had to be that. So I thank you for capturing that image.
Honestly, the pleasure is all mine. It really is. Get the concept, plan it, then do it. With your shoot, it was dead easy.
Yeah, it was super easy. I loved it.
It was like a 2-minute conversation about, what colour do you want in the background? And then we tried it and it looked great. So that was it.
Yeah, fine. It was just so popping and so distinct to what the concept of the album has become, and working with Neil as well with the singles coming up. There are some different colors that we did do in post production side of things, but primarily that red is that natural, just gel red in the moment. Like what you created.
Well, it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be hard.
It wasn't that way at all.
But yeah, thanks for having me and all that jazz.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob. It's been so amazing. And thank you for joining Sunday Shout Out. And anyone who wants photos, you've got to get in touch with Rob Blackham.
If you want to see anything, it's at Blackham Images, blackhamimages.com. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So next up on this week's Sunday Shout Out, I have the wonderful, the very talented artwork designer and author. We have Mr. Neil Hart. Whoop-woo.
Hi. Whoop-whoop.
Say hello to everybody out there.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here on the internet doing talking.
You're working behind the scenes, doing the artwork for my album and doing the artwork for my first single, Diamond 101.
It's been a super fun process. It's been a long process because of, situation of the world. But I think we first met maybe back in November 2019, maybe.
Wow, it was.
Yeah, we had a meeting in the winter it was definitely before Christmas. And then we kind of had everything done in sort of February, March. And then everything got shut down. And then a year later, it's all happening again. So it's cool.
And we're here right now. Yeah, and I just remember discussing all the initial ideas with you, and you were like, yeah, great, I'm going to go away and think about some fonts for you. And
you had quite comprehensive ideas and visuals and stuff like that. And then obviously the music as well was able to send some demos and some early sort of edits and stuff over to have a listen to. So that really directed the artwork and working towards what we finally come up with, which is the single, which will be out soon.
It's only a couple of weeks now. I'm not sure like what your usual sort of turnaround is for artwork covers. I guess it isn't usually a year.
It can be sometimes takes a very long time. Sometimes it's needs to be done that afternoon, which is always a bit of a rush job. But yeah, to have a good amount of time to make something is really useful. But then also I thought you'd come back late last year and go, I've been away for 6 months, I'm going to change everything. Because what it's like when you live with something for a certain amount of time and you love it at that point in time, and a year later like if I could change it because I'm a different person now, maybe I'd do it a bit differently. But it's still relatively the same, and I think because it's it's a representative of the music, so if the music hasn't changed too much then it's all the same thing, and the visuals and that's going to work with it, so it's going to be cool.
I'm so proud of it. I really do love it, so thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. Glad to be a part of it. It's been it's gonna be cool.
And I remember speaking with you about brand new logos. So I wanted to have a brand new Helena May look and a HM logo as well. And it's so nice to have that cohesive branding now. While the singles are coming out as well, that cohesive branding still continues through. And I really, really love it.
Yeah, it's great to have something that is identifiable as you and is, instantly recognizable.
During our meeting, you asked me about certain artists that I liked and certain artwork as well. And I remember sending you over some ideas. One of the references was Jamiroquai, the Funk Odyssey album, because yes, I am a big fan of them. They have a cohesive look all the way through. The branding is there. It's that cartoon man, with the horns. It's JK basically. And it changes as well throughout the albums in the sense of like colors and artwork.
Yeah, it's good to have a thread that runs through all of them that's the same, so that like JK's horns, you see it thinking, I know what that is. It's like even if you have Metallica, it's got the same Metallica logo, even though the graphics are completely different, photography or illustration or whatever. But there's that one thing running through, so you know that what you're getting is that brand and that artist.
I'm just super proud of it. HM in the circle. And I remember when I showed it to my mum, actually, and mum was like, oh, I really like that HM logo.
Your mum clearly has taste, so that's good.
Mum approves.
What a mum?
Like, how do you go about creating artwork? Is there certain software that you use? Like, what's your go-to when you're designing for people?
We use Adobe Creative Cloud for pretty much most things. So for stuff like print-based and for artwork, anything packaging to record sleeves or brochures and stuff, you'd use InDesign, Photoshop for layout and putting things together. And then Illustrator, I'd mostly use for making vector graphics, such as logos, so that you can have them really tiny or you can buy them up for a big, if you have a big banner on the back of a stage. It's a complicated process. It's a percentage, a mathematical percentage scale. So you can make something to fit on your screen, but also it can be scaled up so it can fit to any size. Whereas a photograph, it can only go so far before you start to lose quality.
You know, like big banners, like sometimes you get like Amazon Music banners and like...
Yeah, if you're like a back of Glastonbury and you want something on a big tarpaulin with it, you could stick it on that and it won't lose any quality. Whereas if you've got a photo off your phone and put it on that, it will probably start to degrade and not look so great.
Wow.
But yeah, it's taken a long time to learn it. I mean, bought a book and then taught myself how to do it. So yeah, sort of self-taught a lot of it.
Have you got any favorite artwork that you've created?
It's tricky because I made so much, I always forget. I've done some 12-inch record sleeves, or kind of like, it's a good design format. If you're doing 12-inch vinyl, it's a really nice size. You can do good print stuff. So I did some drum and bass stuff, sort of mid-2000s, 2005, 2006. They were quite fun to do. There were a lot it was all Photoshop based, so there wasn't much photography. It was all just creating weird shapes and blending them and making these weird abstract kind of visuals that would go with the music. So they were quite fun to do. And I like doing weird Photoshop stuff, like putting heads of different people on other stuff. So I run a thing on Instagram, if you want to see, it's called Movie Meows, and I put cats on the bodies of famous characters from films. At Movie Meows on Instagram, and you can see it there. This one's Wicked Witch of the West as the cat, if you can see there.
That is brilliant. That's so good.
It's Gandalf.
Aww.
He looks pretty cute. Rob, who's speaking to as well, he asked me to make this one, which is King Kong with a cat.
Way, Mr. Blackham.
Yeah. So there's tons of those. And people send me pictures of their cats as well and say, can you put my cat on this? And I go, okay.
There you go. Anyone on the live chat, just give us a shout and
get it done.
We'll get it done.
Yeah, try to do a couple every week, but depends on what other work I've got on, because this is just for fun.
That's so cool. I love it. Okay, I hear, and you've also told me, that you've written 5 books.
I've written 5. I published one years ago, and I've written 4 others, and they're I send them off to agents and stuff like that. Fantasy, adventure, fiction. So there are a range of topics. One of the books is kind of like his Dark Materials. It's about a girl who can't forget anything, and she's can access memories of all the people that are alive through this thing called the Vent. And there's another one about scarecrows taking over the world. And I've recently just finished one, which is basically Harry Potter in space. It's called the Spiralverse Saga, and it's about a young girl who's the first girl to go to the Galactic Institute and study on a space station. So it's kind of space magic. So I'm just sending that one off in the next few weeks.
Wow, that's so exciting. How long does it take you roughly? I guess it just depends on book and what you're up to.
Yeah, one of them took years. And the space one, it was just in the middle of lockdown this year. And I was like, is there a book where Star Wars and Harry Potter are fused together? And there's a lot of like fan fiction where Han Solo goes to Hogwarts and stuff like that, which is really weird. But there isn't a book for teenagers where it's space and magic and school kind of mix. So I sat down, I just had an idea for it in May, and I finished it in early September, and then I've just been editing it and messing around with it and getting other people to read it. And so I've got all the feedback now. So I'm doing edits next few weeks and then firing it out to agents and stuff. So
wow.
Yeah. And then they'll say, no, try again. And I'll be like, no.
That is very exciting. I love it. I really hope that you have success with it, sending it to publishers.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I really want to do for a living, is, sit and do that as much as possible. I've been doing graphics for a long time, and it's, it's my main income. It's the thing I do most of the time. I think books is where I'd like to go.
Are your books in different stores, like through the UK?
One of them's on a thing called Wattpad, which is like a free reading website. Those people post their books, and that's the Scarecrow book. You can read that one on Wattpad. It's called The Last Scarecrow. And it's about climate change. There's a massive storm and everybody dies and the world is flooded, and then only this one there's other people alive, but in the first book there's one girl who lives on a hilltop who's built all these scarecrows, and there's only her and the scarecrow left alive because they're on top of the hill and everything else is surrounded by water. And then the scarecrow comes to life, and they build a boat and they go off to find other people. And then that happens. The rest of the book is them searching around and having adventures and stuff. It's kind of like Return to Oz. It's got that kind of creepy, scary kind of feel to it.
Cool. So yeah, if anyone is intrigued, go and check out
On
Neil's books.
Wattpad.com. You can check it out on there. Or if you go to my website, neeljhart.com, there's links to all this kind of stuff there.
I never knew you did this.
Oh, yeah,
This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a huge self-promoter. I kind of like, just toiling away.
You have done a few covers now for me.
We've done 3 singles and an album cover, of which only one is going to be available to see soon.
The artwork for Diamond 101 is actually out right now. I have a pre-save link currently at the moment, so it's a Spotify pre-save link. I will put the link in the description here in this video as well. From the 14th of January, the pre-order for multiple platforms, so your Apple Music platforms, should be Amazon and Deezer. They will be available. It will be available to pre-order and Apple Music.
When's the video out?
The video is going to be out on the day of release.
All going same day, right?
Yeah, so the release will go live at midnight, the morning of the 21st of January. And then I'm going to do a special premiere get together on the evening of the 21st. And that's when we're going to go over to YouTube and have a premiere there. This is my invite to you, Neil, and everyone that's watching. I really hope that you will be up for it. Probably about 6 o'clock, something like that. 6 o'clock on the Thursday. I am in love with the album cover.
Eek.
I love what you've done with it. As soon as I saw
cool.
it, yeah.
We came up with lots of different ones. I was flicking through them the other day. There's probably about 24 different things that we did, all different colours and different colouring in the faces and all kinds of weird chopped up bits and stuff. I think the idea came out quite quickly that you've actually gone with. It was one of the first ones we did. And sometimes it's always that way. It's like we kind of go, that's great, but we need to kind of do 20 other ones just so we go, yeah, we're right, that one is the best one. This feels like it's the right balance of the images and the fonts and stuff like that. And then just messed around with it, but came back to it, and it just seemed to work. Based
on like certain ideas, like I remember looking at the Dua Lipa stuff, like really loving that sort of that disco vibe, the bright colors as well, because I'm definitely a color lady, and that represents throughout the releases as well. Becky Hill logo, Jessie J, Rita Ora, and some Sting stuff. All that stuff was really useful. Just putting those apart and just finding the bits from those that kind of work with the photography that Rob's done, which is fantastic, as always. Yes, and, as always, the guy.
Meld it together and just colours and font and see what balanced. As I say, sometimes it comes together quickly and sometimes it takes weeks and weeks. Have you got some projects on the go at the moment, like graphics, like artwork design? I'm working for RSL. It's like a rock school. Yeah. Rock school grades. So I work for them. So I do all their graphic design. And then evenings, I do freelance stuff like for you. And I do, it's like there's a greetings card company working for. I'm doing websites for a few other companies. When I don't do that, I'm writing books, jamming on guitars and stuff, and reading books. That's important. Making cats. Making a movie cat. So top of the priority list. So high. It's up there. If I could earn enough money, I'd just do that all day. Oh, that'd be so good. Can you imagine that? I'd have to make loads though. So yeah, if there are any cat lovers out there. Yeah. Or movie fans and cat lovers. Right. Have to meld together. Can't go wrong. Comment. I'm looking forward to when we get there, when the album is going to be physically out into the world. That is going to happen. We've talked about doing the artwork design for that as well, for a CD release. Oh, you having a booklet and things? Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Ooh. We'll have to discuss. Yeah, you have to let me know about that. And vinyl. Oh. What? She just comes out with all of these things to do. Yeah. Reveals. Like, you're going to mix it up on the CDs and vinyls. You're going to keep it pretty similar. It's a good shout. I think at the moment, keeping it the same, maybe like there's a limited edition or something that's like different. Yeah, different, like a coloured vinyl or some kind of thing would be cool. Oh, I really do want to do that. We have already been looking at it. Yeah, it's just lacquer costings and things like that. We've still got to go through it all. But yeah, definitely have looked at a red lacquer. Nice. I like it. Shiny.
really shiny and special. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when we get to that stage and designing that as well. That's going to be awesome. So I will be giving you a call.
Nice. I was going to say that's a cool part of design as well. When you get to, because a lot of the moment, a lot of it's digital, so it's all you can't touch, you can't feel it. So when you get to do a physical product, you get to go and touch papers and put little shiny letters on things, or it's thick, or you have cool like metal bindings or whatever it is. So, and the smell as well. If you get a freshly printed magazine that you've done, you can smell all the ink and stuff. It's so I used to do a music magazine for years. Design that every month, and so to get the fresh ones out of the box, it's always a fun thing to do. So
cool.
It's good to hold something you've made. So when you make an album or you make a book, or whatever, and you can hold it, it's a different feeling than just something digital. Digital is a little less, it's less emotional to me. So to actually hold it, it's a physical thing. It's an actual product then.
Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that because I am a vinyl collector. Well, recently,
people like to have stuff, like to hold stuff. I think more my generation maybe than the kids today. They just on the phone is fine, but you just grew up with albums and gatefolds and all that, posters and all stickers and things that come with it.
I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to getting to that stage. Mm-hmm. So I will be giving you a shout when we get there for the.
Well, the kids go like that. They go, phone me. They don't do this.
Really?
Yeah, because kids don't know what that is. Because they don't. They just go, phone me.
I guess because it's flat.
Yeah, it's flat. Phone me.
Hello. Oh, okay.
It'd be redundant in 50 years probably. I still like it.
I like it too. This is fine. This is phone home. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope it all goes brilliantly, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Cheers.